When I say the word leadership, what is the first word or phrase that comes to mind for you? Leadership is one of those concepts that I coach on a day in, day out basis with all my clients. Leadership is one of those things that it's a learned skill set. Almost no one is born with leadership skills. Some people may have more intuition and may have ideas when it comes to leadership. However, leadership is a learned skill set, and it's something that everyone has to sharpen over time. And even in leadership in one position, one company might have to look different when you get into another company or another position. So with that said, my name is Kevin Johnson, and I'm the CEO of Leverage Consulting, as well as the creator of Leverage U, the online university. So what is it that you can do to level up and become a very deliberate, fantastic, results-oriented leader within your role, your practice, your business, and within your team? And this really does apply to just that. These leadership skills can apply to not only a business owner, but also a leader, someone who has a leadership position within a business or a practice. And it can also be someone who just decides they're going to step up. And that might be a little bit of a cue into what I'm going to talk about. So I have three things that I want to talk to you about today about the idea of leadership. And I want to keep this simple. People like to overcomplicate things. You can walk into a bookstore, like historical bookstore, or you can get on Amazon and just type in leadership and look at how many books that you can either download into your Kindle or your device, or how many that you can download to listen to. There are literally tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of books purely on leadership. I'm going to boil this down and keep it super simple for you. These are the Cliff Notes version of what you can do to become a better leader. Again, being a fantastic leader, a deliberate leader, and a results-oriented leader. So the first thing is, and you may think, okay, Kevin, this is a little oversimplified. It can't be that easy, but it is. The first and foremost thing that you need to do to become a better leader is to decide to become the leader. And you might think, oh, come on, I'm going to watch a video on this. Absolutely. You have to decide, and you may watch this in others. In fact, sometimes it's easier to look at someone else and see what I'm talking about. Someone may have a title. Someone may be in a position of leadership. However, they may not be stepping up to be the leader. And what does it mean when someone steps up to be the leader? Well, first and foremost, within that, they have to make the tough decisions. And when I say make the tough decisions, I'm talking about when you get a group of people together and we know something is not right, or we know something can or should be better. And you may have 10 different opinions. You may have 5 different opinions within your group of 10. But one person has to decide which path are we going to take. And it may be unpopular. It may be the kind of decision that you get team members who don't like it, and they verbally or physically show you they don't like it. But that's where a leader comes into play. You stand strong, you stand resolute, and you say, we're going to try this, we're going to do this, we're going to take this path. But you involve everyone in that decision, you involve everyone in the idea of taking those first steps forward. And then you also take that and you say, we're all involved in the outcome and the results. So with stepping up and deciding to be the leader, you have to expect results. And it may be one of those things that we talk about things. And I've observed, I've watched business owners and business leaders talk about results with their team, but they don't necessarily articulate that we want this to happen by this date. We don't talk about who we're involving in it. We don't expect who's going to actually make it happen. Who's responsible for the outcome? Is it you as a leader or manager, or is it someone else? Because it's very easy to have this group think kind of thing going on, and we all think, oh, well, they're going to do it, and they're going to do it. Instead, it was really me. I'm the one that was supposed to do it. So you need to be very clear with your team in ensuring that they know they see you. It's not just you deciding to have it. It's not just having a name badge that says manager or owner or whatever it is, CEO. You have to show and demonstrate. I need to be able to see, they need to be able to see that you are the leader, They need to see and hear that you are the leader in terms of what you say and the decisions that you make and the expectations that you put out to the team. So that was the first thing. So once you've decided that you are going to be the leader, now we're going to talk about the vision. And this is a close second. Every one of these things are equally important. You have to do all three for you to be a successful, deliberate, and fantastic leader. And that is, you have to have a vision. The reason you need to have a vision is you have to have some kind of destination in mind. It's not just for you, it is also for your team. So if you said, for example, we're going to grow this business by 1 million in collections, that is a clear, and that's a clear outcome, but we didn't give it a date, right? So we have to say we're going to grow this business by 1 million in collections, and then you give a date. It might be by year end, it might be 12 months from now, it might be 18 months from now, but you have a very clear date. Why do you need information like that? Why do you need a vision like that? We don't want soft things like we want better customer service, because although an admirable ideal, an admirable goal, it's immeasurable. We don't know what that really looks like. So you may have to drill that down a little bit farther, and you may need to say that we want 500 new 4 to 5 star Google reviews by this date. And it's funny because I do the math with a lot of people, a lot of clients on a regular basis, and I talk about the idea of how many you can accumulate. Almost anyone, for example, any practice can accumulate 300 to 500 in a year if they decide this is what we're going to do. Because when you start looking at how many people you see per month, and then multiply, if you just assume that 50% of the people that come see you are happy, it's nothing to get 300 4 to 5 star reviews in a year, if you decide that's what we're going to do. So with your vision, that is a clear image in everyone's mind, your mind and their mind, of where we're headed. And why is that important? Because you're going to get hit with distractions day in, day out. And with that vision in your head, or on a board, or over your door somewhere, you have to do something that's meaningful to you. So you know on a day in, day out basis, when you walk in that door, we're going to increase our collections by 1 million by this date. When you walk in today, that's my purpose. That's what I'm going to do. If it's you want 30 new patients that on a month-to-month basis, so that means 360 for the year. That is your overriding goal for everything else. So when you get hit with distractions, you had a snowstorm, you had a power outage, you had a staff member that decided that their spouse got transferred. All those things, although they will affect you in some way, shape, or form, they cannot divert you or your team from that long-term goal of we're going to increase our collections by 1 million by this date. So that's the purpose in having a vision, is it keeps everyone true, keeps everyone on track. No matter the distractions, we always have something we're working towards, and it doesn't get dull, because everyone, whether they will admit it or not, they need something to strive for or push against. Well, it depends on how you look at it, but you absolutely have to have something to strive for or push against. Otherwise you get bored, and when you get bored, you get unhappy. So when you look around your team, if you see bored and unhappy people, it might be time to hit the reset button on your vision. So the third thing, and this is also part of it, and I'll tell you, in much of business, there's a problem with being unconfrontational. And a lot of people just don't like confrontation. So the third thing is we need to expect results. So when you think about expecting results, that puts a lot of leaders and managers in a position of being confrontational, which some people don't like. But you have to remember, when you're expecting results, so if you, for example, if you ran a practice and you expect that all the instruments are sterilized by end of day, we can't wait tomorrow morning. We can't have our schedule affected by that tomorrow morning. If you expected a certain number of procedures to be scheduled in the morning hours of a day, or if you're expecting a certain number of procedures, consults, new patients to be scheduled, if you're only expecting just keeping the schedule filled. So if you're expecting the schedule to stay filled, okay, those are all expecting results. Those have to be communicated to your team. And again, no matter what industry you go to, people are going to be a little non-confrontational. They don't like stepping on people's toes. But in the end, everyone also expects the leader to step up and say, I expect these results. They expect, isn't it funny I'm talking about this? We're talking about the team members who expect things from the leader, but what if the leader's not expecting the same kind of thing from the team members? You always have to outpace them. The whole point of it, think about it, leader, I'm out in front. So your expectations should always be higher than theirs. So when you're thinking, how am I going to become a better leader? How am I going to become a more deliberate, successful, fantastic leader? Just employ the 3 things that I talked about. Decide to be the leader, step up, act like a leader, walk the walk, talk the talk, decide to be that leader. Number 2 is you need to share your vision. You need to find a time, whether it be team meetings, morning meetings, on the floor every day, on the job training. You need to decide to share your vision on a daily, hourly basis to ensure that it gets ingrained into your team. Share it through job descriptions, share it through meetings, share it through problem solving. Everything ties back to that one thing, your vision. And then the last item is expect results. You absolutely have to expect results. If you put things out into the universe, you will make progress, you will get results, but you will get there faster, easier, and with less stress if you expect results from your team. So there you have it. There's the 3 ways you can level up, become more deliberate, become a more fantastic, results-oriented leader. And if you like content like that, hit the like, hit the subscribe, because I have videos like this for you every week. Again, my name is Kevin Johnson, and I'm the CEO of Leverage Consulting, as well as the creator of Leverage U, the online university.